Do you feel out of control whenever your IBS symptoms attack? Watch this video to learn the most important thing you need to do to nip your flare-ups in the bud. For the most important information you'll find about IBS online, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified every Friday when I post a new video. If you're sick of being a slave to your IBS boss, by the end of this video, you'll know how to take back control and start breaking that cycle. I'm Wendy Leung, holistic health and happiness coach, licensed acupuncturist, and powerhouse IBS conqueror. And I know exactly how it feels to be controlled by your IBS. I teach my clients how to take back their lives and leave their IBS behind, and now I'm sharing with you too. If you struggle with IBS, chances are it's on your mind every day. And depending on how bad your symptoms are, it might even be every hour of every day. This week, we're adding to my series on IBS symptoms, and today we're talking about symptoms of IBS attack. If you're watching this, you probably already know what your IBS symptoms are, but I want to give you a quick recap of some common ones. Gut symptoms include stomach noises, extreme bloating, cramping pain, gas, and food sensitivities. Poo problems include constipation, diarrhea, loose stool, urgency or frequency of pooing. And emotional symptoms include heightened anxiety or stress, whether or not they're caused by your IBS. So now that we're clear on IBS symptoms, what's considered to be an IBS attack? We know that everyone's IBS is a little different, but there are two main IBS stories. The first is that your symptoms have ups and downs. Some days your symptoms are tolerable enough that you can try and ignore them, but other days you're doubled over in pain or you're stuck in the bathroom almost all day. The second story is that your IBS symptoms are the same all the time. They never seem to change no matter what you do, so it makes it hard to know why they're happening or what triggers them. Which IBS story do you have? Let me know by dropping a 1 or a 2 in the comments below. Another term for IBS attack is IBS flare-up. If your IBS story is the first one, then your IBS attacks on those days where your symptoms are particularly bad. If your IBS story is the second one, then it really depends on how terrible your IBS symptoms are. If they're tolerable but they're just annoying, then you might not actually have an IBS attack per se. On the other hand, if they're terrible all the time, then you're in constant flare-up, which means you're pretty much always in an IBS attack. But regardless of which IBS story you have, the number one rule that you need to follow in order to keep your flare-ups or your IBS attacks in check is this: don't panic. Remember earlier when I mentioned emotional IBS symptoms? Stress and anxiety can be caused by your IBS attack, but they can also cause your IBS attack to get worse. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, or TCM for short, IBS is a combination of an already weak gut and mental emotional stress, which means the weaker your gut, the worse your symptoms, and the stronger your stress or anxiety, the worse your symptoms are as well. So the key to taking control of your IBS attack is actually being able to take control of your mindset. You need to get out of the vicious cycle of anxiety causing your flare-up and your flare-up causing even more anxiety. Now, I know that this can be easier said than done, so here are a few quick tips that can help you do this. Number 1, recognize and acknowledge the attack. Sometimes we're so confused about what to do that we put on blinders, thinking that if we ignore it and push through and pretend that it's not happening, that eventually we'll forget about it and it'll eventually go away. Unfortunately, while your conscious mind is telling yourself that it's totally cool, your subconscious is working with your body to sound the alarm. So your insides are actually fighting with themselves, making your symptoms even worse. So whenever you feel an IBS attack coming on, take a moment to first acknowledge that it's actually happening. The second thing to do is to check in with your body. An IBS attack is your body's way of sounding the alarm. It's sending you a strong message that something's off. So instead of ignoring it, take a few slow, deep breaths in, paying attention to how your body feels as you expand and contract your lungs. Then, after you've reconnected with your body, check in with it and see if it needs anything. You might need to make a change to your day in order to calm your flare-up, but it's worth it if it means that your attack won't get any worse. The third tip is to remember that this too shall pass. Going back to mindset, it's easy for us to fall into that cycle of doom and despair, wondering how long it's going to last this time, and when is it ever going to get better, and will it ever go away? But instead of going there, remind yourself that you've survived these attacks before, that they don't last forever, and that you're strong and you're resilient. But if your mind still stays stuck on your IBS, then a more constructive mindset would be to shift your focus and start thinking about what you can do to prevent future attacks from happening over and over. Remember, this too shall pass, but once it passes, it never has to happen again. Now, if you're sick and tired of your symptoms and your IBS flare-ups and IBS attacks, and you're just ready to get better for good, check out my website and learn more about Conquer IBS Reignite Your Life mentorship program, where I help you steel your mindset and teach you everything you need to know to put your IBS behind you for good. The link is in the description box below. Also, come join a tribe of people just like you in my Facebook community, Powerfully Conquering IBS, where I share even more tips on how to kickstart your IBS journey to health. If you like this video, let me know by liking it below, drop a comment with the word helpful, let me know what your biggest takeaway was, and make sure that you're sharing this with your fellow IBS conquerors, because I want to be spreading the word that IBS is not a forever thing, so I can help you guys beat this together in 2019. I could talk all day about all things IBS, so make sure that you stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell so you get those notifications every time I post a new video.